two girls head into the woods to summon a spirit, but they never make it back home that day. 3 days later, they're found at a farmhouse, but their parents soon realize they've both been possessed by a demon. The movie opens with a happy couple that is expecting a baby girl. It's obvious they're deeply in love and happy together. However, one day a powerful earthquake strikes, and Victor finds his wife badly injured, who begs him to protect their baby. After the tragedy, the doctor tells Victor he can't save them both. 13 years later, we learn that Victor chose to save his daughter and moved to the United States to start over. Angela has a friend named Catherine, and after school they head into the woods to perform a seance, hoping to speak with Angela's late mother. Meanwhile, Victor is busy working as a photographer, but when he gets home, he realizes Angela hasn't come back. Victor meets up with Catherine's parents, and they call Denise, who tells them she overheard the girls saying they were going into the woods. The parents search the forest together, but all they find is Catherine's backpack and one of Angela's shoes. Desperate, they go to the police. The police only have a video showing the girls leaving together, but they promise to do everything they can to find them. 3 days later, the girls are found at a random farmhouse. They're taken to the hospital to check their condition, but before that, they insist they simply got lost and kept wandering through the woods. They thought only a few hours had passed. The doctors don't find anything unusual in the tests, so they reassure the parents that everything seems fine, but something about the girl's behavior feels different. Victor takes his daughter home, and she tells him she only wanted to talk to her mother, but she couldn't. Then a ghost appears behind Victor. The lights suddenly start flickering, and he injures himself trying to fix the problem. The next day, Angela suddenly attacks him, before having a very strange seizure. Victor rushes her to the hospital while she screams that she wants to see her mother. At the same time, Catherine is at church with her parents, and she acts strangely the entire time, until she finally causes a scene in front of everyone, behaving as if she's possessed by something. Her parents take her to the hospital, where they obviously run into Victor. Victor still has no idea what's happening, but Tony and Miranda believe the girls have been possessed by an evil spirit, something Victor has a hard time believing. That night, the nurse can't even take Angela's temperature. She wakes up and starts speaking in a demonic voice. As a result, Angela is transferred to a psychiatric hospital, where she'll be monitored around the clock. The nurse insists to Victor that his daughter is possessed, and tells him he'll find answers in this book. After reading it for a while, Victor decides to meet Chris. She's the author of the book, and her daughter Regan was also possessed by a demon. After Regan was exorcised, Chris wrote a book about everything that happened. Her daughter didn't like that she did that, so she moved away. And to this day, Chris has no idea where she is. The point is, she agrees to help Victor, so she meets him at the hospital along with Mary, who has brought Father Maddox to help. They find Angela completely out of control. On top of that, Angela seems to know who Chris is and literally tells her, "She's waiting for you." Victor and Chris also go to see Catherine. Poor Tony is already on the verge of losing his mind while his wife prays with their children. Chris goes upstairs to Catherine's room. The demon remembers her perfectly because it's the same one that possessed her daughter Regan. Chris tries to drive the demon out of Catherine's body, and it actually seems to be working, but the demon stabs her in the eyes with a crucifix until Victor rushes in and pulls her out of the room. Chris is left badly injured, so she's rushed to the hospital. Father Maddox meets with the other priests. He assures them the girls are possessed and begs them to approve the exorcism. Victor apologizes to Chris for dragging her into all this, but she tells him none of it is his fault and that he needs to focus on saving his daughter. Victor meets a woman who's an expert at opening portals. When he brings her to the house, she draws a symbol on the floor, where they secure 2 chairs for the girls. Victor goes to the hospital to bring Angela, and they also bring the other possessed girl. The problem is that Maddox won't be able to help because the other priests refuse to approve the exorcism. Even so, he gives Mary some advice to help keep her safe. Everyone else panics when they find out Maddox won't be there, but as a former nun candidate, Mary assures them she can handle it. Mary begins the ritual by reciting prayers, but the more she speaks, the more the demons mock her, reminding her that she never became a nun because she got pregnant and had an abortion. Long story short, the prayers are a complete failure, but they also have holy water ready, and when they throw it on the girls, they react instantly, writhing in pain. But that doesn't work the way they hoped. Then we learn that on the day of the earthquake, Victor actually chose to save his wife, but Angela survived anyway. So now the demon tells them that if they don't choose one of the girls, it'll keep them both forever. At that moment, everything seems hopeless because the parents can't make a choice. Then Father Maddox shows up and takes charge of the exorcism, but the demon snaps his neck with telekinesis. Desperate, Victor wraps Angela in his wife's scarf, hoping it'll bring her back to her senses. But then Tony tells the demon that he chooses Catherine, causing Angela to levitate before coughing up something truly horrifying and finally dying right in front of her father. Catherine finally returns to normal, while Angela appears to be dead. However, we then see Catherine in a hallway, where the demon tells her it chooses her. Angela regains consciousness, and this time it's real, while Catherine is gone from this world. Shortly afterward, we see Angela back at school, but but she remembers everything and misses her friend. Catherine's parents are still completely devastated, and the second good thing about the ending is that Chris is finally reunited with her daughter Regan. Thank you so much for watching, and if you liked the video, make sure to subscribe for more movies like this.